The Creative Use of Imagination by Neville Goddard. Chapter 2. Take not the name in vain. Your individual state of consciousness is your level of being and attracts all of the events you encounter in life. Since your reactions determine what you are, any change in your outer world must be produced by your inner level of being. In the 7th chapter of the book of Mark, we are told, "Hear and understand. There is nothing outside which can defile man, but what comes out of a man's mind is what defiles him. He who has ears, let him hear." Now, thoughts are things. When you identify yourself with a thought, it outpictures itself as an act. If the thought is unlovely, it defiles you. Awaken and select only thoughts that contribute to the birth of your desire. You must constantly observe your dwelling place, for where you are psychologically is what you are. Your mood indicates your state, and you are always externalizing the state upon which you stand. The Upanishads, one of the class of Vedic treatises, dealing with broad philosophic problems, states, "The soul, imagining itself into a state, takes upon itself the results of that state. Not imagining itself into the state, it is free from its results." Your soul is what you consent to. As you feel yourself into the situation of your answered prayer, you have entered a state, and your soul has taken upon itself the results of that state. If you do not enter the state, you are free of its lovely results. Accept an idea as true. Identify yourself with it, and it will outpicture itself in your world. But if you do not accept the thought and identify yourself with it through feeling, you are free from its results. You must become very selective and learn not to associate yourself with unlovely thoughts. In the Book of Kings, we are told how those who entered the temple brought something alive with them, such as an ox or a bullock. These were used as burnt offerings. These sacrifice offerings are your body of suffering. They are the animals you must offer, called grievances. No matter what the grievance may be, you have no right to carry it around with you, and you cannot ascend in consciousness until all of your grievances are tossed on the altar and sacrificed. Only as you give them up will you find the holy water. Now, this holy water is not the church variety, but the symbol of the 12 aspects of the mind. When your mind is cleared of all of its cobwebs or grievances, the bowl of holy water is placed on the backs of oxen, and your disciplined mind serves you rather than you serving it. The bull symbolizes the mind in its wild state and must be tamed, washed in holy water, and clothed in soft raiment. When you enter the Holy of Holies alone and bathe in its waters, your mind is washed of all mean thoughts and cleansed. Begin now to associate your thoughts only with the good. Then that which proceeds out of your mouth or mind will never defile you. I am is the self-definition of the infinite. Go and tell them that I am has sent me unto you. Awareness, I amness, is the only power of the universe. Its power makes you alive. If you say I am sick, you are. If you say I am secure, you are. Feeling yourself into the situation of a given state, you must take upon yourself the results of that state of mind. All things are made alive from a state of mind, and without the state nothing can be made, as you only resurrect the state from which you are identified. Where you are psychologically is what you are in reality. Therefore, if you catch yourself feeling sorry for yourself, stop it and start feeling happy. If you don't, you will identify yourself with the state of self-pity and outpicture it. Let the weak man say, I am strong. Don't wait until you become strong before saying this. If you feel weak in any sense, affirm I am strong. And if you persist in that assumption, it will harden into fact. No one should ever take the name of the Lord in vain, for that name is I am. The righteous man is already conscious of being the person he wants to be. He never sins, but runs into the name, for sinning is missing his desired state. and righteousness is hitting it. I will set him on high because he knows my name. Assume the consciousness of being the one you want to be, and you will be saved from your present state. Your individual hunger can and will be satisfied when you run righteously into the state desired. This is done through the act of feeling. Feel happy, and you are conscious of happiness. Feel married, and you have consciously moved into the state of marriage. The thing desired must be felt before you are conscious of possessing it. Learn to say no to unlovely thoughts rather than accepting them with passive indifference. For a soul must imagine himself into the act to taste the fruit of the state acted upon. Remember, consciousness alone is the cause of the fruit you reap and the only explanation for its existence. There is no one to blame but self for all of the things that have happened, are happening, and will happen to you, as they could not come into your world unless you consented to them. Start now to consent only to lovely thoughts of fulfilled desires prior to their confirmation by your senses, and give up the animal instinct of suffering and bathing yourself in the feelings of hurt and self-pity. The psychological tongue is much like the physical one. If someone annoys you, turn aside and keep the tongue of your mind away from the sore spots of dislike, for your little mental conversations are the producers of your future. Sacrifice your body of suffering by giving it up and tame your mind, for we are told, "Blessed are the meek, the tame, for they shall inherit the earth." Clothe yourself with joy and good news, and you will walk into your holy of holies clothed in your immortal garment of love. There is a rhythm in your world which cannot hear or see, and your aura is like no one else's. A bloodhound knows. If two odors were alike, no bloodhound could find you. But you are unique, one of a kind with your own special aura radiating your level of being. Don't judge auras for the simple reason that you have to see the aura of another through your own, and what you are seeing is only your assumption of the man. Complacency is a curse. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst after righteousness. Control your imagination with steady attention, and dare to stand and be heard. Andrew is the disciple who symbolizes this aspect of mind. Pay attention to your thoughts, and discipline them, so that they flow from the feeling of your wish fulfilled. For you are not awake until the outer you becomes placid and the inner you dynamic. Don't try to argue someone out of their misery. We are told to let the filthy be filthy still. What is that to thee? Follow thou me. Man is given the power of the I to think, and everyone is allowed to think for himself. All things, when admitted to consciousness, are made manifest, be they good, bad, or indifferent. Dare to stand up on your own by this teaching, and you will never again feel the need to justify failure.